So I'm so excited to bring you my review of the final comic book movie of the year. This has been a pretty good year for comic book movies. And so Justice League, it's one that has a lot of baggage attached to it. Some people liked Batman v Superman. Some people, like myself, thought it was ambitious and admired the ambition, but didn't really like it. And then other people absolutely hated it, like my brother. And my brother didn't even come with me to see Justice League because he's just like, that was too hard an experience because he hated Batman v Superman so much. So there you go. There's the spectrum of that movie. Man of Steel, some people love it, think it's a masterpiece, and then other people like me think it is a sort of a slog and doesn't do good service to the character of Superman. And so we have all these different opinions about the DCEU. The only thing I can control is my opinion, so that's what I'm going to give you. And so like I said, not a fan of Man of Steel. I definitely didn't like Suicide Squad. Batman v Superman I thought was ambitious, but didn't really work. And I loved Wonder Woman. So there we go. That's my feelings going into this. So I was kind of nervous. I did not love the trailers. You have this weird combination of Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder. And so going into it, but I was trying to be positive. And I have to say there was a lot that I really liked about Justice League. Let's start with the positives for sure out front. I loved what they did with Superman. Finally, this is the Superman that I wanted in all of these movies. They get it right in the third movie. When he like smiles and is a positive, joyous character, it made me so happy. I was so happy. I can't even begin to tell you. I had a big smile on my face. It was so great. I just think they nailed Superman in this, got it just right. It wasn't cheesy, it wasn't cloying, it felt like a real person and to me, and felt like the character of Superman, and I was so happy about that. I can't even begin to describe. Also loved Flash. I thought that he was great, he was funny. I loved Ezra Miller. I knew that I would love that character, and I really did. Of course, Wonder Woman was awesome, and they definitely explore like some parts of her past, and I thought that was good. What she does with the lasso, particularly one scene, hilarious, so great. And I just thought she was just great. She was trying to learn to be like a real leader, which I liked. And so that was good. I thought the dialogue was really good. Definitely you could see that Joss Whedon influence on the dialogue. It was very witty, it was very fun, and so that was very good. And so all of those things I think were pretty positive for me. And so I left feeling pretty positive, I would say, on the side. There's definitely some problems. Now, the problems, the biggest thing is I'm just not a fan of the way that Zack Snyder does action. And there's not like a scene that's as satisfying as the warehouse scene in Batman v Superman. The action was very video gamey in this. It was very red and gray, and I just didn't really care for it. I mean, you definitely get some of that in Wonder Woman at the end, but this is throughout the whole thing. Pretty much every action scene is very video game-ish. And I think that's probably partly because the Steppenwolf, the character they're fighting, is a very video game-ish kind of character. And so I think that's part of why that ended up happening. Then I also thought the plot involving these MacGuffin kind of devices, I won't get into because we're spoilers. I thought the plot was pretty convoluted, and they just spent a lot of time like collecting the various members of the League, and I don't know, just the plot was just very convoluted from the very beginning, yeah, it didn't really work for me. And also I thought that the villain was very generic and very video game-ish. Like, I don't really care about bad villains in superhero movies. I don't care about the bad villains in Marvel movies. I don't really care about the bad villain here. It doesn't really matter to me. So, but I know that some people definitely have issues with that because he was very bland. I think Aquaman and Cyborg, they don't give them a ton to do, and they're kind of bland. You feel like, oh, I need movies, so you get Aquaman movie, I guess a Cyborg movie eventually, but there's definitely sort of like the Hawkeye of this group, just sort of one of the characters that's just sort of there, but you don't really get to know them all that well in this first team up at least. And so, yeah, I mean, so it depends, I guess, how big a fan you are of those characters. Like, Jason Momoa did have a couple good lines, and like I said, there's one really funny scene with him, but I don't know, you just didn't really get to know him that well. And there's a bunch of other characters that just come in and out for like one scene, 2 scenes, and so it does feel a little overstuffed sometimes. And like I said, that makes it, I think, add to the sort of the feeling of convolution about it. But I don't know, like, I think that with this movie, like, if you hated Batman v Superman, I think you'll actually probably like this pretty good. I think it'll be okay, a fun experience for you. If you loved it, I don't know what you'll think. I assume you'll at least like it, but I don't know that you'll love it like that movie. If you're just kind of in between, then I think you'll probably have an okay time. I enjoyed it, and I'm so happy about Superman. It just depends on what lens I'm looking at it through. Am I looking at it through the action lens? Because I think then it's definitely frown-worthy. If I'm looking at it through the character lens, then I give it a smile-worthy. If I'm looking at it through the plot, then it's frown-worthy. So I'm kind of all over the place on this. I don't know. I was just so happy about Superman that I probably will go ahead and give it a smile-worthy. But it'll be interesting to see what different responses people have to it. So let me know what you think. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you later.